Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are doing a review on this thing's pretty big. This is the Rivarossi Big Boy. Now this is equipped with DCC and sound. This is Big Boy number 4014. A lot of you guys realize that the significance of 4014 is that UP is going to be working on that to restore it. Pretty big box. MSRP is $459. So you can find discounts off of that. Let's see what you get in this big box and Big Boy starting right now. This has got to be the largest box I've ever unboxed on screen for any product review. It's going to be very hard to get the whole thing in frame, so I'll just do my best to get this opened up here. Now I can tell you that unless you get a little bit of a pull on the edge, this thing creates a vacuum and does not want to come off very easily. Well, you got your foam here, pretty thick foam laying on top of the locomotive and the tender. There's the locomotive, there's the tender, and again it is an all-one big long sleeve. So we'll pull the sleeve out here. Just going to do the Vanna White left and right real quick. There's quite a bit of paperwork that's kind of static cleaned to the back. You've got exploded parts diagrams, manual with ESU LokSound, which is probably the most exciting thing I want to hear in this review, is the ESU LokSound Steam on the Big Boy. Some more paperwork and a warranty registration card. And then the only other thing in the package is an extra set of drive wheels, and it looks like a couple other accessory pieces. Almost looks like a coupler cut lever or two. So we'll get all that out of the way. Then you've got the actual Big Boy here. Again, it just slides out. Gonna slide. It's actually one long sleeve for two separate packages. So this is a long unboxing because of the fact that it's a little awkward. But I do want to still demonstrate what you're getting out of the box, make sure there aren't any broken parts, etc. So tender, pretty light, feels pretty light, plastic. Do have coal. So 4014, the one that's getting redone, will have an oil tender from what I understand. Then you have the actual locomotive. Like it came out of the box without any part problems. Okay, we're going to start from the front. Take a look. You got the pilot here, coupler cut lever is already installed. 4014 shield up on the front. You got handrails, safety tread. You have the headlight, which I believe is LED. You have a fuzzball, which has decided to attach itself to the locomotive. You've got the number boards. You have a bell, which is free swinging. You've got more handrails on the smoke box door, the latch detail around the smoke box door. Going alongside, you see all the side rods, drivers, wheels. You got your pilot trucks right here, pretty free floating pilot trucks. You've got handrails along the side, got the whistle, you've got two smokestacks. They do not look like they are plug and play for SUSE smoke units or anything, so these are not ready for smoke. It would be a custom job to do that, unless smoke pops out when we power this on, which I don't believe it will. You got the dome there detail, some basic detail along the entire body here, but some nice rivet detail back here. The trailing trucks, got the dynamo. You've got the cab detail with the windows, 4014 along the side, rivet detail along the top here. And inside the back, a little bit of backhead boiler detail. As you can see, you have two connections for the tender. You've got this little two-prong female connector here and a drawbar that will connect to the tender, which I'll show you in a minute. The tender in detail. You got more of the same on this side. Detail, the only difference is these two brake wheels here. So I can't remember what these wheels do on the real thing, but basically these two here. And overall, you've got the builder plates printed along the side. That's about the only difference from the other side there. So as you can see, that is the Rivarossi Big Boy on detail. Let's take a look at the tender real quick. You got a coal load in here. You have the Union Pacific printed along the side. Centipede tender here. You've got the connection points that I mentioned earlier for the drawbar, and that other part was actually the female connector. The male connector pins are in there. Handrails along the side. Rivet detail going up and down the side of the tender here. And of course you have a back coupler. Front coupler is not installed, but I think it does swivel out. So there's a back coupler. It appears to be plastic. More rivet detail up and down, and then you've got your rear light, which I believe is also LED class, or rear marker lights, which are not operational and look like they're molded on. The front have class lights that are also non-operational. So there you have your detail on both the locomotive and tender. Let's get into some sounds. Alright, I've got track power applied. You can't really get anywhere until you hit F8 with these LokSound decoders, so hit that so you can hear startup sequence or sounds kick on here. Sounds like a dynamo mostly right now, but let's go through some sounds, including, we'll go through some functions as well. The headlight dynamo kicks off when you turn off the headlight. So that's F0, of course. F1 is bell. Let me go ahead and kill the headlight so we can get straight to pure bell sounds and horn sounds and whatnot. So, bell. Oh, it sounds really, really good. Whistle. Now, the thing I like about LokSound is it's very responsive. They don't need a short whistle or short horn on a different function. F2 with a real quick touch is all you need for the short version. So I'm going to hit F2 real quick, and that's it. It's very, very responsive. Longer hold, you can kind of play the whistle a little bit. So yeah, there you have that. You got coupler clank on F3. Actually, it looks like they do actually have a short whistle on F5, so let's try that out. Yeah, same as hitting F2. A little longer, but see, that's F2, and that's F5. So it's basically the same, but they do have the option there. F7 switching mode, it puts it into a different mode. F8 is steam chuff being on and off. F9 is blower. F10 air pump. You got coal shoveling on F12. So you have open cylinder cocks on F15. A lot of great sounds here. Let's go ahead and get this puppy moving. One speed step of 128, not broken in. Very little motor noise, very smooth. So it's just one speed step there. I know we're coming out of frame a little bit, so this isn't going to be the smoothest transition in the world, but there's two speed steps. 3 speed steps. 4 and 5. Go in reverse. Slow speed is the key, just to kind of see the motor control. We don't need to run this thing around quickly. Two speed steps. 3 speed steps. 4 speed steps. And 5 speed steps. Kind of hear the drivers going in and out of sync. Counted the chuffs per revolution. It's supposed to be 4 chuffs per revolution of the wheel. That's what I was getting when I counted it going backwards. So, some folks say they want to see a more head-on view of the headlight. This has a nice golden LED headlight look. I really like it. I think they nailed it. Gonna kick it into reverse so you can see the reverse light. Same beautiful golden LED, golden white LED. I love that. I wish that color were on everything because it absolutely nails it. Well guys, that wraps up the review of the Rivarossi big boy locomotive with DCC and ESU LokSound. Now I think for the price and what you can get this in discounts from your brick and mortar hobby shops and online retailers, this is the best price big boy out there. And I don't really think they skimped on anything to really warrant that low price. It has a decent amount of detail. It's not super detailed out, but it has great control by the motor, or of the motor, by ESU LokSound, and it has great sound. I think it's nice, clear bell. That whistle is nice and deep. Very similar to the whistle they had on the 4014 when they were moving it from California to Wyoming. You've got good speed control. You saw the pull test specs, really nice pull test, even though the locomotive is lighter than other big boys. It has a very good pull test. So overall, really nice locomotive, and I think the price is good for the locomotive. Now you can run this with either era of the big boys with, you know, freight hulls, or you can run it for the future with 4014, with the exception of the tender, which is supposed to be oil, converted to oil, has not yet been done yet. So we're not 100% it'll be converted to oil, but they're saying they'll convert to oil. But I'm going to leave you with a run by of the future run, which would include the big boy pulling a short 8-car passenger set. Now there's brass on there, so it's not a light consist by any means, but the pull test, from what I could see, could handle it. So there's brass and plastic mixed into the run by of the passenger car, so enjoy that on a couple different scenes on my layout, and I'll see you next time right here on my channel. Take care.